All right, so if you're an Android user, you've probably had this weird moment recently. You go to share a photo, you're looking for that familiar button you've tapped a million times, and it's just gone. I'm talking, of course, about Nearby Share. So what on earth happened to it? I mean, one minute it's there, and the next, poof, it's been replaced by something called Quick Share. And yeah, it's definitely confusing. Did Google just decide to kill off one of its best features overnight? Well, the real story here is actually way more interesting than you'd think. So the good news is, Nearby Share isn't actually gone. It's basically just gotten a makeover. The old two-swoosh icon has now evolved into this new three-arrow icon for Quick Share. So while the name and the look have changed, the core idea is still there. Which, of course, leads to the big question, why? Why change it at all? So this wasn't just some random design choice. Nope. This whole change was about solving a much, much bigger problem that has been bugging the Android ecosystem for years. It's all about finally putting an end to the confusion. Okay, to really get why this happened, you gotta understand what a mess things were before. See, if you had a Google Pixel phone, you used Nearby Share. But if you had a Samsung phone, you had their own version, which was also called Quick Share. It created this totally confusing, inconsistent experience where two phones, both running Android, couldn't reliably talk to each other using the built-in tool. It made no sense. So to finally put an end to all that fragmentation, the two absolute giants of the Android world, we're talking Google and Samsung, did something pretty huge. They actually decided to team up, to combine their forces and create one single unified sharing standard for every single Android user out there. And look, this wasn't something that happened overnight. It really started back in 2020 when Nearby Share first launched. But the real turning point, the big moment, was in January of 2024 when Google and Samsung officially announced this partnership. The rollout started happening almost right away, and the plan is to just keep building on this for years to come. The goal here was, well, it was simple, but it was also incredibly powerful. Just create one default, reliable sharing system for the entire Android ecosystem. No more second guessing which app you need to use or whether your friend's phone is even compatible. Just one name, one system. Quick Share. Okay, so new name, new icon. Is that it? Is that the whole story? Not even close. The new Quick Share is so much more than just a simple rebrand. It actually comes packed with some seriously powerful new features. Think of it this way. Quick Share is now the one official go-to way to share files across the whole ecosystem. And I don't just mean Android phones. We're talking Chromebooks and even Windows PCs. It takes the best parts from Google's old system and Samsung's old system and smashes them together into one super app. You know the drill, right? We've all been there. You're trying to send a file, you're mashing the share button, but the other person's device just refuses to show up in the list. It's got to be one of the most frustrating things about this kind of sharing. Well, they built a really clever solution for exactly that problem. The new solution is so simple, it's brilliant. It's a QR code. Now you can just pop a QR code up on your screen, your friend scans it with their camera, and boom, the connection is made instantly. It's an absolutely fantastic workaround for those annoying times when devices just can't find each other, especially if you're in a crowded area with a ton of other phones and laptops around. And the vision here is so much bigger than just phone-to-phone sharing. The real goal is to seamlessly connect all of your devices, no matter who made them or what operating system they're running. And you know what a huge piece of that puzzle is? The Windows app. For years, trying to get files from your Android phone to your Windows PC was, let's just say, a bit of a nightmare. It was unreliable, but Google has clearly been putting in the work here, pushing out updates that have fixed a ton of crashes and made the whole experience so much more stable. Okay, but here's the feature that is probably gonna blow your mind. For what feels like an eternity, there's been this massive, uncrossable wall between the worlds of Android and Apple. Well, with this new Quick Share, that wall is starting to get some cracks. Now, let's be crystal clear. This is a huge deal. It's starting to roll out on newer devices like the Pixel 9, and it lets you use Quick Share to send a file directly to an iPhone. It just shows up as a regular AirDrop request on their end. And get this, the best part? Your friend with the iPhone doesn't have to download or install a single thing. It just works. It's seamless. Okay, of course, anytime we're talking about zapping files through the air, the big questions pop up. Is it safe? Is it private? Can just anyone see my device and try to send me stuff? Let's break down the controls you have. So you've got three really simple but really powerful settings to control who can see you. Your devices is exactly what it sounds like. Only your other devices on the same Google account can find you. Contacts limits it to people you actually know who are physically nearby. And if you do need to share with a stranger, you can choose everyone, but, and this is such a smart privacy move, that mode automatically shuts itself off after just 10 minutes, so you are always, always in control. Now look, no software is ever going to be perfect, right? And it's important to be upfront about that. There was a security vulnerability found in the Windows app a while back, which outlets like Security Week reported on. It was a pretty serious reminder of just how crucial it is to keep this stuff updated. But, and this is the most important part, that flaw was fixed. And not just fixed and forgotten. Google has been consistently pushing out updates ever since, patching vulnerabilities and just making the whole thing more stable. It really proves that security isn't just a one-time thing, it's a constant, ongoing process. All right, so let's boil all this down. What do you really need to remember? First, Nearby Share is dead, long live Quick Share. It is now the one unified standard for all of Android. Second, it's way easier to use now, thanks to cool features like QR code sharing. And finally, it's breaking down old walls, with way better Windows support and, incredibly, a brand new bridge to the world of iPhones. When you step back and look at it, this whole thing isn't just about a name change. It's about this bigger trend of tearing down the walls between all our gadgets. The lines between your phone, your laptop, and even your friend's phone, they're getting blurrier every single day. And it really makes you wonder, as our digital world becomes this one interconnected web, what's the next barrier you hope technology finally tears down?